Oh, I can hear myself. Ooh. So, God's will for all human beings is that human beings find happiness on this planet. And to do so, God makes sure that every human being add its personal willpower to do so. What you see in this box is the face of happiness. It also is a place where I keep my notes. Whoa. So because, we all have a capacity to remember and a capacity to forget. So I put my notes here to make sure that I spent a lot of time on choosing the right language to describe divine consciousness. So God's will for human beings is that they find happiness on earth, and God gave each human being, which is each of you, the capacity of free will to find happiness at your own pace. We're not happy all at the same time. And I think we all know that. It is also God's will that human beings will learn from each other. How to use their abilities and how to evolve. I'm remembering what I wrote. We are souls created to the image of God. But once we enter the human body, we forgot that. We forgot that we were souls, that we are souls. So our journey on earth, what we need to learn is how to remember that we are souls on our way home, which is Source, which is God. But on that path, there are many things that happen with our intellectual will. I remember an adventure where I experienced anger. Have we all experienced anger? Oh my goodness gracious, this was a big one for me. I had created a company called Pellerin Construction. And the people I was working for, building an expansion to water treatment facility, decided that they were not going to pay me. And they said, oh, we haven't received our money from our client yet, so we can't pay you right now. And that happens, because I've seen that happen a lot of times, not only to me, but to many. So I waited. A month went by. When the second month arrived, the same story again. Well, it's possible that they haven't received their money in 2 months. And I waited another month. And there goes the naive Claude, the good construction man, but not an experienced businessman. And 3 months went by, and during that 3 months, I saw the writing on the wall. These people owed me $150,000, and I was not going to get my money. Thank the Lord, I had enough cash to pay all my employees, let them all go, because I would have ended up in jail. So that month went by. People referred lawyers to me, the best lawyers on the planet. And I said, okay. So I hired them to take my case on so I could get my money back. But I found out later that these lawyers I hired also at different times worked for these owners. So they were in cahoots together to make sure, I'm not kidding you guys, to make sure that when I ran out of money, I ran out of lawyer. And there it was. The clothes I had on my back, the money I had in my pocket was all I had. We lost everything. And that was the beginning of the end of my marriage as well. Because my wife says, oh, you're putting me through hell. And I was. I really was. But that's life. See, it's not all roses. It's not all happiness. I can tell you I wasn't happy. I was so angry that I started thinking, oh, I'm going to damage these guys. Because I knew their building. I was going to pour acid down the conduits where all their electronic wiring was. I was going to go to their home and slash their tires. All of that was going through my mind. And then I remembered that I would be found if I did all these things. And I would feel guilty. And that guilt would bring me to feel shame if I did these things. That was the lowest energy you can ever experience. The experience of guilt and shame. Oh my God. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So, believe me, guys, God is within us. God is all around us. It's in everything. And I mustered the courage to have the willingness to accept that I could forgive these guys and let that go. I looked in my box, which is my body, my intellectual mind, my intellectual will. I have the will to let go. I dumped my intellectual box completely of that experience. I just let it go. And then, as time went by, I experienced some happiness in who I was and what I did. And then other experiences showed up, which were not the most pleasant experiences. Again, I look in my box, oh, what is this? Fear? Me? Afraid? Afraid to do something? I had not experienced that before in my life. I can tell you, I was fearless. I was wild. And I like that. I really did love that. And that's our natural way to be for all of us. I remember that, and that's why we're here, to remember what we forgot. So when we experience things that are negative, it's because we forgot how positive we can be. So I looked at my box, which is my body. Your body is the same. And I said, enough of that. I dumped all the fear. And there it goes, wherever it needs to go. I was not afraid anymore. And then, I experienced grief. We all know, we all experience grief in one way or another. Grief is just the experience of losing. We lose love, we lose life, we lose material things. We lose what we create. So, all right, enough of feeling that. Enough. I dumped all the grief, and there it was. So I took these words out of my life. The words, there's other words that show up. Worry. Worry is about what's going to be happening. That's where worry comes from. I remember people worrying about their children. Oh my God, he's not going to turn out as good as I want him to turn out. Look at what he's doing now. He doesn't even want to go to school. He needs an education if he's going to go somewhere in life. Worry, worry, worry. And that wasn't the kid worrying, it was the parent. Oh, so I took the word worry, I dumped it out of my dictionary. The word regret. Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Oh my goodness gracious, I regret that I haven't done what I thought was best. I dumped the word regret out of there. Oh, it's all gone. You see, when we dump these words out of our intellectual mind, these words disappear. We can forget these words because we know how to forget. We forget so many things, we don't even have to remember these words. Only maybe when they show up and say, hey, that word's not mine. I don't want to use it. It's as simple as that. And that's how we find happiness. Through doing the things we love doing. Once we've dumped all these negative words out of our life, we can find happiness. Happiness in small things. It's easy to do. And as we find more happiness, we actually evolve. Holy smoke. What does that mean, evolve? It means that we are getting closer and closer to the door that leads us home. In the presence of God. That's where we're all heading. That's where we all want to go. But we must go through all the hurdles of finding rocks on the way, which are all the negative things that we can experience or think about. Does that make sense to you guys? So remember the box. We're all boxes. Our box is a human body. And if you try to get out of your box before your time comes, before you have fully evolved, you might be able to do that. There's 1 or 2 or 3 people in the world that are able to get out of their body, go astral traveling, but it's not for us. This is too complicated because that's not how we get out of our body. We get out of our body by just accepting the presence of God in all things. That's when we know the door is in front of us and we can open it. We can get close to God in our intellectual will. And once we've done that, what happens is we say to God, here is my intellectual will, God. Take my box. Take my will. Take it all. I don't need it anymore. And when that happens, we're done living on earth. But that takes hundreds and hundreds of years to happen. We all have different lives to make that happen. So we need to take our time. We need to learn how to enjoy life, how to enjoy everything, our families, ourselves, everything that we have, everything that we do. And once you walk around with a happy face, you know that God is with you. He may be outside of you, but He's also inside of you, in your heart. Remember the happy face. That can be you. I see smiles all over the place. Happy faces, congratulations. I love to see that. That's what life is about. Thank you. I trust and know as I remember fall into the arms of love. fall into the arms of love. As I remember to the arms of love, fall into the arms of love, fall into the arms of love. Close your eyes and breathe normally, and imagine falling through a vortex, falling into the arms of love. The arms of love are the presence of God within us and outside of us. When we fall into the arms of love, we experience the power of the divine will for us to be happy. We also remember the power of our intellect. We all can love as we fall into the arms of love. That's where we learn. Loving who you are, who we are, who I am, loving everything that surrounds you, the nature, the animals, the beauty. There is beauty everywhere. So beware that you are in the arms of love. And as you feel that deeply within yourself, you know that you are on the way to Source. It's not difficult to be on the way to Source because Source is with you all the time. It follows you. Source is experiencing what you are experiencing. That is why Source, which we call God, created human beings and souls so that it could experience through them what it created. That's the purpose of our existence, to serve God. And discovering the splendor, the beauty, the abundance that God created for each of us. Abundance is ours in different ways. It's not necessarily about money or riches. It's about an abundance of understanding love. When we say we let go and let God guide us to our good, it means that we let go of all the negative things that take place in our life. And as we let go of all the negative things, we are learning that it's much better to be living in that positive place of love. After all, we fall into the arms of love every time that we let go of anything negative. Anything, any thought, any action, anything. We are meant to be creators, and we create who we are. We create from our aptitudes. We create by loving the things we do, by doing the things we love to do. So we need to focus on those things. And that's what happens when we fall into the arms of love. Anthony. and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. And I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. Surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. Fall into the arms of love. Fall into the arms of love. You can all come back to the room now.
Well done.
Thank you.